Archaea. In geology, the Archean era means the oldest, earliest period in the history of the Earth's crust. One of the four eons of Earth's history, spanning from 4.031 plus 3 to 2.5 billion years ago. The Earth's biota in the Archean eon consisted of communities of anaerobic prokaryotes. Geobiological studies of Archean sedimentary rocks indicate that advanced prokaryotic life on Earth existed more than 3.8 billion years ago. In the early Archean, the atmosphere and hydrosphere apparently represented a mixed vapor-gas mass, which enveloped the entire planet in a thick and dense layer. Its permeability to sunlight was very weak, so darkness reigned on the surface of the Earth. Proterozoic. Proterozoic eon. Proterozoic is a geological eon covering the period from 2500 to 538.8 plus 0.2 million years ago. It replaced the Archean and was replaced by the Phanerozoic, the longest eon in Earth's history, lasting 1961 million years. The Proterozoic era was the longest on Earth, and it is to it that we owe the appearance of multicellular organisms. One of the first representatives of life were flagellates. Everything changed after cyanobacteria appeared. They, thanks to processes of photosynthesis similar to those occurring in modern plants, began to absorb carbon dioxide and produce oxygen, forever changing the composition of the atmosphere. After the appearance of the first fungi and plants, more complex multicellular organisms began to develop: sponges, gastropods, archaeocyaths. This development was made possible by the constant cooperation of cells with each other, which led to the rapid development of life in the Proterozoic era. We owe the Proterozoic era not only the emergence of living organisms. The formation of continents took place during this period. About 1150 million years ago, the first supercontinent, Rodinia, was formed. There is an opinion in scientific circles that continents were formed earlier, but there is no evidence for this. Paleozoic. The Paleozoic is a time of colossal changes in the biosphere. During the Cambrian, a diversification of different groups of animals occurred, known as the Cambrian explosion. The most important factor in the Cambrian explosion was the so-called skeletal revolution, the appearance of an exoskeleton in organisms, which is largely due to the fixation of a new type of relationship in nature: predator, prey. The discoverer of the Cambrian explosion was Roderick Murchison. By studying the fossils of ancient eras found in the corresponding sediments, he discovered that the layers of these sediments were separated by a sharp boundary. Below this limit, they are extremely poor in biological remains and demonstrate the ubiquity of only the simplest single-celled organisms, bacteria and algae. And then, starting from the Cambrian era, about 550 million years ago, they suddenly acquire an unprecedented wealth of new biological forms. Mesozoic. The Mesozoic is an era of tectonic, climatic, and evolutionary activity. The formation of the main contours of modern continents and mountain building on the periphery of the Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian Oceans is taking place. The division of land facilitated speciation and other important evolutionary events. From the Triassic-Jurassic extinction event until the end of the era, dinosaurs were the dominant land vertebrates, which is why the Mesozoic is often called the Age of Dinosaurs or the Age of Reptiles. Over the last 1.1 billion years of Earth's history, there have been 3 successive Ice Age warming cycles, called Wilson cycles. Longer warm periods, thermoeras, were characterized by a uniform climate, a greater diversity of flora and fauna, and a predominance of carbonate sediments and evaporates. The Mesozoic era is the warmest period in the Phanerozoic history of the Earth. The Mesozoic thermal era began in the Triassic period and ended in the late Cretaceous. For 180 million years, even in the subpolar regions, there was no stable ice cover. The climate was mostly warm and even, without significant temperature gradients, although climatic zonation existed in the northern hemisphere. Cenozoic. Cenozoic era is the current era of the geological history of the Earth. It began 66.0 million years ago. This boundary is drawn by the mass extinction of species at the end of the Cretaceous period and continues to this day. In the history of life on Earth, the mass extinction of species 66 million years ago marked the beginning of a new Cenozoic era, which continues today. As a result of the catastrophic events of those distant times, all animals larger than a crocodile disappeared from the face of our planet. And the surviving small animals found themselves, with the advent of a new era, in a completely different world. The Cenozoic era was marked by the appearance of the first intelligent life on Earth, Homo sapiens. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more exciting videos.